What is the biggest thing happening in India right now? The biggest thing happening in India right now is our Lok Sabha elections. Now, this happens once in 5 years, which can literally decide the fate of me and you or the whole nation itself. And the reason I'm talking to you right now, because I know you are the school owner, maybe you are the principal of the school or somebody who's running the school. But the idea is from this Lok Sabha election, we can learn so many things. Just imagine something which happens once in 5 years. Just imagine the kind of marketing tactics political parties must be using. So that's the reason I've spent whole day just to come out with 5 strategies that we can learn from a Lok Sabha election and how to do it right. Okay. Now, before I get into the video, let me introduce myself. I'm Adi Singh. I help school owners to get more admissions to the school. It can be schools or preschools. I've been doing this thing for more than a decade, and that's the reason I sort of vouch for whatever I do. So my first pointer is simple and clear messaging. Now let me give you some examples. फिर एक बार मोदी सरकार, हर हर मोदी, घर घर मोदी, आत्मनिर्भर भारत. Can you see that? How amazing that simple messaging was. Because the moment you do that, you will ensure that you're hitting people's heart each and every time. And BJP, as a ruling party of our country, they have been using this thing very, very critically. They have been using this thing very geniusly. And that's the reason you will see in every messaging that they say, they have very profound, simple, and clear messaging. And this is the thing that you have to do for your school itself, where you ensure that your school, whatever you do, whatever education you give, what is the result people are looking at. So that's the reason you need to come up with some sort of a single messaging. I talked about this single messaging in my previous video. You can also check this out. But you have to ensure that you have a clear single messaging. I can give you some examples. Just imagine we have a school, maybe we have a school which is focuses on green environment. So their messaging can be green future is the only future. Maybe there's a school which focuses on entrepreneurship. Over there, their messaging can be entrepreneurship starts from here. There is a school which focuses on very sort of economical way of giving education. So their focus is on, or their messaging is ICSE education in under 3,000 rupees, So that critical messaging makes an impact. I mean, if there's a school which focuses on leadership, their messaging can be leaders are made, not born, because again, it will be done at the school, right? So that's what you have to figure out. You have to go beyond USP and you have to get into clear messaging. What is that one goal that you want to help parents to achieve for their kids? Now, the moment you figure out the messaging part, you have to also figure out how you will implement. Now, for example, if in a school, if their focus is on or they're focusing on entrepreneurship, just ensure you're going next step and you're implementing those things in the school. Because there's no point in just saying those things. So just maybe you can just start with a small thing. Maybe in 2 months, what you can do is you can just change. Instead of teachers, you can start calling them mentors. Instead of principal, you can start calling them CEOs, or start conducting more and more sort of workshops. Start calling some startup people in the school, and that's how you inculcate whatever you're saying. So don't just say those. First of all, you have to figure out the messaging. But once you figure out the messaging, ensure that you're also implementing those things in your school. My second point that we can learn from Lok Sabha elections is planning, planning, planning. And what kind of planning? We're talking about long-term planning. You must have heard that, whenever a political party comes very closer to the election time, they will start or they'll stop doing some sort of development activities because they're more focused towards elections. Right? So what I'm trying to tell you is they don't focus only in the last week, last month of the election. What they do is they plan their whole marketing strategy and they start focusing or they start gearing up slowly and gradually. So it's the same thing we have to learn from the school. Do not start doing promotional activity in the month of April, May, June, where most of the serious parents are already gone. What you have to figure out is when you, right after the summer break, first 3 months, you need to start focusing on what is the messaging of the school, how you can implement those messaging in the school. Once you do that, then you start focusing on the relationship channels. For example, you get in touch with parents, you get in touch with sibling discounts, then you get in touch with some tuition centers, then you get in touch with some events. If you don't have any budget to do events, at least attend events. And that will ensure that you're getting in touch, you are going out there without even spending more money. Right? So the first 3 months, get going with that. Second 3 months, or no, your second quarter will be all about where you're only focusing on listings. You're getting to know, or you're getting in touch with some of the bloggers, where when people search best school in your area or best school in your city, your name is coming up there. Also, you can get your review done. Maybe just call an authority and tell them to do the detailed review of the school, because parents specifically search with your name and review. For example, MS Dhoni Global School Reviews, for example, BS International School Reviews, right? So get that review done. And that will be very cheap. But the idea is people will have a very detailed information about the school, right? And also from the second quarter itself, what you can do is you can start running some non-salesy promotional activity, where the idea is not to literally push parents for admissions. Idea is to just let them know who we are and what is our messaging. Now, when it comes to the third quarter of the campaigns, what you can do is you can get into the like very sort of promotional, some sort of activity where you're running very aggressive ads, where you've figured out that you're getting into more and more based on the budget you're getting into some outdoor activity as well, because again, outdoor activity can increase some admissions, but you have to figure out that how much budget you have. So based on the bifurcation, you can choose your outdoor advertisement as well. But idea is third quarter, your only focus is on aggressive marketing, where you're talking to parents, you're attending events, you're going to apartments, you're doing your outdoor activity. And that's how it should be distributed. The last quarter should not be about admissions. You're only talking and converting from wherever you have received money of the advances that you have received. You're just converting them into the full payment itself. So this is how it should be done, because this is the major thing that we need to learn as school owners or principals, that from the election committees or from political parties, that what they plan in advance and they just follow to the T. So my third learning is, do not lose even a single voter. You must have seen political party are putting everything, whatever they have, they just ensure to just get one vote. Like whenever election comes, my friends will start calling me that if their parents are in some of the political party, they start calling me that please vote for my father, please vote for my family member and stuff like that. Why? Because even a single vote matters a lot. Now in the case of school, I'm telling you, you will learn this thing very hard way, which is even single admissions matter a lot, because in school business, LTV, lifetime value of the customer, is very high. Because once you have a student in your school, mostly if you do your things right, they will be staying in your school for at least 10-12 years. So getting one admission is very, very important. Ensure if parent is coming with a kid at your school just to check out the school, you are converting them. I'm telling you, it needs a lot of training, it needs a lot of help, but if somebody walks in your school, you have to ensure that you're converting them. Give them discounts, give them offers, give them something more valuable, but ensure that they're getting into you. Because the moment they don't enroll in your school, what they do? They go to your competitors. Now my fourth point is money, money, money. You must have heard whenever election season is going on, there's a lot of cash transactions happening, there's a lot of cash going here and there. Now, let me tell you one thing. Even though how much ever money you're ready to spend, it will not ensure that you're winning. Same case apply with the admission. I mean, I have come across several schools, they have big pockets, they have big money to spend. They're spending 25 lakh rupees in newspaper ad. How many leads they're getting? None. They're spending 1 or 2 lakh rupees every day going to an apartment and just, like heckling or just, randomly talking to parents in the apartment, and then they're thinking this is the marketing. There's so many ways to spend money, but the idea is whenever your focus is, or when you're focusing on getting admissions for your school, idea is do not look external. Do not look at that, I have money and I can solve this problem. You can never solve this problem. Why? Because you have to understand, to solve the problem of admissions, you have to look inwards. Instead of hiring an agency, start from you within. You must have seen like a lot of political parties, they hire international agencies. They're spending close to 2,000, 3,000 crores of money in 1 year itself to run ads. But the idea is they also do internal marketing. They have their karyakartas, they have their volunteers, they have their partners. Everybody does this thing to ensure that party is winning. And that's how it's done. So for your school, you have to ensure that no matter how much money you have, your money cannot solve your admission problem. So you have to start from within. You have to start including your teachers. You have to start including your kids. And this is what we teach in our channel. So please consider subscribing, because I'll be telling you the ways where you have to start looking internal to solve your admissions problem. My fifth point is using all the channels. I mean, as you have seen, all the political parties, they don't rely only on one thing. They don't rely on news channels. They don't rely on only karyakartas. They don't rely on pamphlets. They rely on everything. They have a budget and they distribute the budget as per the result that they have seen in the previous session. So this is what we have to learn from the political party. So what you have to do for the school is you have to figure out what is the budget. If you have a good budget, then you can appoint some of the good budget on online, then figure out something what can you do for outdoor media, then figure out what kind of events you can do, then figure out what kind of different channels that you can build, how you can get in touch with tuition centers, how you can get in touch with listings, how you can get your review done. If you have more money, then you can get into PR itself. So there are so many things that you can do. But before you start doing that, or before you start having an idea of using all the channels, figure out what is the budget. I'll tell you what, if you have the minimum budget, if you're just telling me that, you know what, Adi, I only have a budget of maybe let's just say 30,000 rupees per month. I'm telling you, this is the best case scenario, because only now you will start thinking internally. You'll start utilizing your resources. Instead of going just paying 5 lakh rupees to an agency and just sitting and folding hats and imagining that, you know what, somebody will do the magic for me. They cannot do that. So you have to, the moment you have less budget, you'll start looking into your messaging. You'll start looking into what is your USP, what are you giving to the parents, and how are you exciting them. And that's how this is done. Okay. So you have to use all the channels, but ensure that you, based on the budget, you are looking internally and you're literally maxing out all the channels that you have, right? So these are the 5 learnings that I feel that we can learn from Lok Sabha election. This is one of the biggest election that we're having this time. So I hope these learnings that you can apply in your school. And please let me know, out of all these 5, my favorite is for sure, do not even lose even a single admission. Like any political party, they don't even lose even a single vote. So my favorite is this one. Please let me know down in the comment box, what is your favorite learning and what you want to really implement in your school. Because the moment you start doing that, you will see a huge change or a huge uplift in your admissions. So if you like this video, please consider subscribing, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Thank you.